Well, good morning, everybody. I'm not usually up this early, but I woke up at 6 o'clock. One of my kids has allergies, and I'm up. So I'm going to go ahead and get this video made. So this game, Black Myth Wukong, which has been talked about going on for about 4 years now. Not something that I would necessarily be like super interested in playing. To be honest, I tried playing a few games like this, kind of the Chinese-inspired Souls-likes like Wulong. It was alright. I just, after about 10, 15 hours, I just was kind of bored with it, to be honest. That being said, this Black Myth Wukong game has been hyped as possibly being one of China's first premium games to make it big. And I know a lot of people have talked about how Chinese game studios tend to focus mainly on mobile games because they can get a lot of money and microtransactions out of them and stuff. Well, it seems like this studio that is making Black Myth Wukong is really trying to knock it out of the park. It's an indie studio and it's got a lot of hype about this game. There's a lot going for it. And it's a studio called Game Science. And again, this will be their very first AAA game, it seems like. They were originally founded in 2014, but it doesn't seem like they've made any other games of note. So you can see the developer's Twitter page here, and of course they've got a lot of these clips from the game coming out, a lot of the just the overall PR stuff for the game. It seems like people are going to have a really good game on their hands if it's their kind of thing. The YouTube trailer as well has been very well received since the Summer Game Fest a few weeks ago. 4.6 likes to 73 dislikes. Pretty awesome ratio as far as things go. We've seen some games like Assassin's Creed Shadows and Star Wars Outlaws get massively destroyed in the ratios. And on their website here, very high resolution, very detailed website. And so again, these people are really putting their best foot forward when it comes to trying to make a game that is going to be hype worthy. That being said, Grums has a bunch of tweets this morning showing a very disturbing, disgusting trend that we've seen from companies like Sweet Baby Inc. In regards to their attempt to essentially extort the studio behind Black Myth Wukong. So he says here, Black Myth game developer Game Science claims companies like Sweet Baby Inc. are asking the studio for $7 million in guidance fees to fix their game and studio image. Game Science was slammed by IGN for its founders' innuendos and remarks which they claimed were sexist. The studio claims the attacks were made in order to extort the guidance fees which they refused to pay. Oh, excuse me. The founder of the studio has a controversial style that easily gets him in trouble with the wrong think crowd. And we've seen this before. We've seen this kind of stuff where somebody says something troubling in their past, or somebody doesn't have the right, exact demographic represented in the game, or the right people working on the game, and they go, oh no, this is going to be a problem for you. You need to hire us. And so you can see this right here. This person, Pirate Nation, says that the translation for this, I believe this is from the studio themselves, says the reason why the team behind Black Myth Wukong has been subjected to persistent sexist attacks and slander since their first promotional video is because they've consistently refused political correctness guidance and rejected the extortionate guidance fees of millions of dollars demanded by these political correctness teams. Actually, such teams are quite common in Europe and America. They interfere with works like Assassin's Creed Dying Light 2, Stay Human, and God of War by pushing for politically correct female protagonists. These games are the direct result of the interference and guidance of such teams. Game Science teams refuse to communicate with these groups and reject their interference. Most importantly, they refuse to pay the exorbitant $7 million in guidance fees. Think about it. This is one example of Sweet Baby Inc. asking for money from a studio. How many other studios have they built for millions of dollars? We know that they're connected to Sony, to Xbox, game studios, a whole bunch of other companies that have much deeper pockets than this indie studio, I'm sure has. This is the direct reason why they're being attacked and slandered. Some justifications are based on the team's lack of diversity or representation, which doesn't align with the political correctness standards. A typical example is an article by a major IGN writer criticizing Hogwarts Legacy and refusing to evaluate or promote it due to its alleged lack of political correctness. And we've seen this many times, where the games media comes out attacking somebody for not being modern and inclusive enough. And you'll see things like this article here saying how Black Myth Wukong's developers have a history of sexism and it's complicating its journey to the West. Okay? Again, these are just people like Rebecca Valentine, who we'll see again in a second, who are just trying to stir the pot, unfortunately. And this is literally the what they're taking from the studio head that's somehow making it like this big controversial thing. So he had these statements that got translated talking about the G spots of male and female games. And again, I understand what he's trying to say. I think some of the translation, like everything gets lost in translation here. But he says the G spots of male and female games are fundamentally different. This is not determined by the gaming environment, but by biological conditions. When you are holding a heavy machine gun and shooting at governments in your dreams, what the ladies are dreaming about are bags that would make their friends jealous. If you design games about turning government buildings into bloodbaths and bag collecting, the result will be that girls will not like this mechanic and you won't be satisfied with the drops. The richer the gaming experience of players, the clearer they are about what they really want. If you want to make games that will be well received by the public, you have to be true to the quirks of the market. F sissies, F tragic love stories, F moonlit peach blossoms, and flute-playing scholars. You don't need the reverse motivation of female players. You don't need to take care of those worms who just want to date chicks. Some things are just for men, their depression, their anger, their pain. If I really like soft and effeminate things, I just need to make something different and wear stockings and suspenders to work every day, work out at the gym at 4 p.m. without fail, brew chrysanthemum tea every day, put a humidifier on the table. This is what I call professionalism. Again, I don't know that all the contextual references are being adequately translated into English, but you get the idea of his statement. And so now you see here, I think that's the last one in this slide. Right here it says, the founder of Black Myth Wukong, Feng Ji, sounds incredibly based. In November, IGN wrote a hit piece article on him and other studio founders, but ended up making them look like honey badgers of gaming. And this, of course, is the article that he's referencing in the portion that he's talking about. And it just goes to show you that these people don't understand that Chinese culture that, again, we've talked about the Assassin's Creed Shadow situation where they've inadequately translated certain things, where they've culturally appropriated pieces like the torii gates that they want to use without actually putting the Shinto shrine, immediately after the gates. They want to just use the architecture as their part of their design for their game, not understanding the cultural and significance of the pieces themselves. And yet here they're going to go and attack somebody who's a Chinese man, who's unapologetically Chinese. And of course, you have here in this IGN article them pointing out how inappropriate their work environment is. It says, a year later in 2015, Game Science also published several recruitment posters that featured suggestive images, which IGN has seen and verified. In one poster, a risque illustration that resembles the artwork of Austrian artist Egon Schiele is accompanied by a header that says mandatory self-pleasure. In another poster that featured the rear view of a woman, the ad reads, don't screw your colleagues. In the same ad, friends with benefits were also implied as an office perk. And a third poster featuring a dumbbell is far more pointed, with the ad stating that fatties should F off. I'm sorry, that's awesome. I don't understand what there is to complain about that. It's a joke. It's funny. It used to be something that was acceptable. And this is, I'm sure, a studio that is 99.9% male. Deal with it. So now you have what it really boils down to, and this is again what I've talked about previously in articles or in videos talking about Smash JT and Alyssa Mercante and Gamergate and all these people working hand in hand. It's Grums goes on to say the author of the Black Myth Wukong hit piece is article. Sorry, I'm really tired, guys. The sexism hit piece article is Duck Valentine, who is Rebecca Valentine, besties with Alyssa Mercante, who even appeared in her Fight Me Bro cringe video. And you can see her right on the end right here. And the funny thing is, if you actually go to her Twitter page, I'm already blocked. I've been pre-blocked by her for so long, it's not even funny. Wukong claims articles like this were used by consulting companies to shake down the studio for $7 million in guidance fees. She also celebrated the infamous Re of the GDC scream and is well known for her multiple hit piece articles targeting devs and studios for hate speech, sexism, and the isms buzzwords. And of course, you can go to Smash JT's website and she's right on there. In fact, let's just do that in real time since I'm thinking about it. And these are all the same people. These are everybody who has been attacking gamers, who have been working their hardest to alienate the gaming audience, straight white males, to go after people who are, of course, not as like-minded as they would like us to be. And it's just pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic that you actually have these people in a position of power and authority, and they are able to influence so much of the gaming space and try to extort studios by working in collusion with the consultation companies just to bilk these studios for an extra few $1 million, which gives them the ability to exist. They're just leeches. They are parasites. They are grifting off of studios. And they are just the worst, absolute, most pathetic type of people to exist. So I'm going to leave it right there, guys. I am live streaming later. Probably going to get on about 9:30 Pacific time. We are going to do some Elden Ring, I think. Get ready for the DLC next week. So hope to see you there. thank you guys for everybody who's actually started to join as channel members. That is fantastic. I can't thank you guys enough, and I will catch you on the next one. All right, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have 2 channels, Minimal Effort Podcast, as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.